Good morning. Well, this is our last day. We're fixing breakfast and gonna get loaded up a little later, but we're just our last day here at this spot. We're gonna be moving up again to the Hutch Mountain, Forest Road 135 today. Tammy's mom and BJ are gonna meet us there, hopefully, so we can have a little birthday cake, because somebody's birthday's not today, not Tammy's, but somebody else's birthday. So I'm gonna do a little celebrating. But I'm cooking breakfast this morning a little differently. I'll show you. Because, well, right now it's not too bad. You can't really tell, but we've had some winds this morning, and we're supposed to have some occasional wind gusts. Right, so I moved the table in here on the griddle. Let me show you. I'm cooking inside the cargo trailer. And you can go. Here comes the wind right now. Yeah, see, we got these wind gusts that come up. And boy, oh boy, do they really blow. So I decided I'm going to cook inside. So let me get some breakfast in the cargo trailer this morning, because it's windy.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Yesterday we had red flag warnings. We tried to go up to the fire tower yesterday, and you'll see that on the video. But they had a red flag out. When they have a red flag on the fire tower, you can't go up. How you doing, Patch? Patch is leash free right now. Huh. But he doesn't leave my side. He stays right by my feet, don't you? You won't leave my side unless Mommy's got a treat. You can probably hear the wind on the camera, but well, it'll start blowing like crazy, and then it'll die down for a little bit, and then it starts up again. So there comes the dust. That's the only part I don't like, is when the dust comes in. But waiting for the sun to come up and get some sun on the solar. I want to say it's like 64, 65. It's not freezing cold, but it's just cool enough that it feels a little chilly. It's the wind chill factor. Well, are you going to play a song for me? You going to play us a few tunes on the guitar, Patch? No. Patch is not happy because he knows we're getting ready to go to another campsite. You're not happy because we're getting ready to move, and all your friends are here. I know. That happens. It's part of the fun of camping, but part of the not so fun leaving, huh? Well, believe it or not, we actually got the same spot we had last time we were here. I like this spot. This area is really nice. I like this area better than the last area. Look how green it is, or how much grass there is. We decided to come back to Hutch Mountain. So those of you who are watching and watched a video we did a couple weeks back, probably think, well, weren't they just there? Yeah, we were here actually about 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and we decided to come back here. We were down on Blue Ridge, but we came back up here because it's so nice. And some friends of ours drove by here yesterday on Sunday and said it was packed. No, on Saturday. They said it was packed Saturday. But this is Sunday afternoon, and it looks like everybody's kind of cleared out. There's so much space here. And there's still, you can't see here, but there's a couple of trails you can take back through there and get in the trees back farther. I think I see somebody back there. Now that road right out there is Lake Mary Road, Highway 3, and we're about 1.5 miles north of Stoneman Lake Road, and about 3.5 miles north of Happy Jack Ranger Station. So for those of you who want to know kind of where we are, but we're gonna get set up here. We got some family coming. We're gonna celebrate a little birthday and just relax. It's a little cooler here. It's a little higher. I think we were about 6,800 feet down at Blue Ridge, and up here we're about 7,500 feet. Big difference in temperature, and I think today's cooler anyway. According to my map, this road doesn't have a number. There was a little sign back there, but it said road closed, but it is kind of open. You just have to go around some dead trees. But it should connect up this way with the 135 that we were on earlier. So I'm going to just take it and see how far it takes me. Wish me luck. It's not too bad. Just kind of a little rough in spots and a few dead trees, but you can usually, every time I've ran into a dead tree, there's always been a trail that goes around it. So we'll see what happens. So later on I found out that this is actually Forest Road 135C. C like in crazy. It's a fun trail though. This is not the kind of trail you want to bring a motorhome down though. Actually, it's a really beautiful trail. You'll see in just a minute as I go down it. It'll actually connect back in to the 135 down the south there. And the whole trail is probably just 2 miles. A mile and a half, 2 miles. It's also part of the Arizona Trail, I found out as well. That's kind of cool. As you're driving through these trails, like on the side there, you'll see little tanks that are called little places that have been cleared out and for water for the animals to come and drink at. And right now they're dry as we were doing this video. But when the summer rains come, they'll fill right up. And that's a good place to find elk in the evening. Oh, isn't that pretty? Yeah, this is pretty back here. All right, keep going, Dave. Now, if you go back, I'll put a link up in the corner. If you go back and look at my video on ATV ride around Hutch Mountain, that's where our friend Dave took us on a razor ride, and we did a big loop around Hutch Mountain for about 20 miles. Beautiful country back here. And absolutely nothing that would stop you from coming back here except for the road being a little rough and spots. It's not something you want to take a car back here. And people ask me, well, Dave, the road looks smooth. Well, that's kind of what you call trickery, because the camera has built-in image stabilization. So even though it looks like the road's really smooth, it's just my camera playing tricks with you. So it's really kind of a rough road. I wouldn't want to come back here in a car. Maybe an SUV if you got good ground clearance and watch out for some of the rocks and stuff. But like I said, you could come back here and camp if you really want to, and you have the ability in the vehicle to get back here. And once in a while you'll see places back here where you'll see somebody's come back here before and camped. you'll see a little fire ring or a little spot off to the side. And there's the sign right there. That was the first trail sign, or at least the first one I remember finding, 135C. And it's just fun. There are so many trails if you have some kind of a 4x4 little ATV or a quad or maybe a small Razor or a Can-Am, something like that, or even a dirt bike. You can get back here and just kind of enjoy the trails. Or walking even. This is actually part of the Arizona Trail, so this is a hiking trail as well. And it does come right back here to the 135. I was just out having a little fun on some of these trails. But I was just on the 135, which takes back to camp. That other little road was said 135, what, C? Closed? Well, fun. Beautiful up here. Okay. Back where I was earlier. So now I'm back on Forest Road 135 heading west, which takes you back to camp. But you might notice on the side some areas where you see some camping going on, because there's a lot of dispersed camping up here. We're probably, where I'm at here on this ride, I'm probably about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the camp. But there are some really beautiful spots up in here and some good campsites. So if you don't mind a little bit of rough road once in a while, the road is actually not too bad. This road's pretty smooth, as you can tell by how fast I'm going. Beautiful spots up in here, though, if you don't mind coming up that road. We like the very first part of the road right there where we camped at, because it's just like a big park area. Some people want to get a little more privacy, a little more quiet, maybe from the... Even though the highway really isn't that noisy, some people want a little more quiet and peace. So they'll come back to maybe a place like this, which was off to the side. And definitely a trail to nowhere here. I kind of took it for a little while and realized, oh, it's sort of a dead end up here. Even though I probably could have found a way to keep going, I just didn't want to push my luck. You never know what you're going to run into. Now this was our last night up here and our last mountain trip. I'll tell you about it in just a minute, but it was a little bit chilly that morning. I got up in the morning and it was like 46, 47, which is unusual for June, but nice. I'm not going to complain, because right now it's 116 in Phoenix. It got chilly this morning. 47. Brr. Everybody's still asleep. I'm gonna make some coffee, take Patch out for a walk in just a minute. Sun's just coming up. Good morning. Can you hear the elk? I hope you can hear the elk on the camera. They're off that way. There's bunches up over there. Good morning. We're all waking up here. This is our last day at Hutch Mountain. So I'm keeping my voice down because the wind is absolutely still. And you can hear the elk off over behind me. tempted to take the quad over there and see if I can find them, but it's so quiet I don't want to wake everybody up. We only have a few people around us out here. They're right over there somewhere. I was kind of hoping they would come out where I could see them. Well, we're going to be packing up today and heading back to the home. This will be our last mountain trip for a while, so we're just kind of making the most of it, celebrating Tammy's mom's birthday, her birthday. But in about a week, we're going to be hitting the road, and we'll tell you more about it. We're going to be hitting the road to Buffalo, so we're going to be trucking it. Gosh, I wish I could get the zoom lens on this. I saw some of them moving over there. There's like a little meadow on the other side of those trailers, right there. On the other side of those campers, there's a meadow, and I think they hang out in that meadow, on the other side of that meadow over there. When you're here at Hutch Mountain 135, you'll see a lot of elk. Best time is at night, right after the sun sets, or in the morning like this. Right through the trees, I can see them moving. I can see them moving. They're moving east. Yep, I'm going to be packing up here. We are going to be moving our son to Buffalo. He has a job there. Also his girlfriend, possibly future daughter-in-law. So we want to meet her parents. But we want to make the most of it. But we're not going to be able to take the motor home because I really haven't the first clue of how we're going to travel in the motorhome right now and try to do it in 2.5 weeks. So this is kind of a truck trip so that we can scope out possibly future times when we can take the motorhome and make a trip back there, but I don't want to make a 2.5 week trip in the motorhome for obvious reasons. But we'll do that sometime in the future. So we're going to kind of scope out places that we can stay at in the future. It's just beautiful out here. This was a nice, relaxing trip before we get our stuff packed up and ready to go. More about our trip coming up, and we'll be sharing that with you as we go along. Oh, there's people over there. Safe travels, everybody. I'll leave you with the beautiful sunrise here on the Hutch Mountain 135. Catch you later on the next trip. Bye.